Practical Anarchy, A Guide to Self-Determination. Dickie Dredd. Part 41. Climate Crisis and Eco-Anarchism. The climate emergency is no longer a distant prospect, but a lived reality. Floods, wildfires, droughts, and record-breaking temperatures are part of everyday news, while scientists warn that we are on course to overshoot the 1.5 degrees Celsius target within a decade. The official responses, however, remain trapped within the very systems that created the crisis. Carbon markets, net zero by 2050 pledges, green growth strategies, and state subsidies to fossil fuel companies. As argued previously, capitalism's dependency on endless growth is fundamentally incompatible with ecological balance. What is presented as green transition often amounts to greenwashing, where profit continues to take precedence over survival. Eco-anarchism begins from the opposite premise, that survival requires dismantling hierarchies of both power and production. The earth is not a resource to be exploited, but a commons to be stewarded. This perspective will link to future sections where the potential of federated resource councils is outlined. Ecological decision-making cannot be left to governments in thrall to corporate donors. It must emerge from local assemblies, federated globally, grounded in ecological knowledge and community need. Case study, rewilding and land use. Across Europe, rewilding initiatives have gained traction, challenging industrial farming and extraction forestry. In the UK, projects at NEP and Banal Bryniog have shown how releasing land from intensive agriculture allows ecosystems to regenerate, creating habitats for example, nightingales, beavers and butterflies. Yet such schemes often remain within capitalist property frameworks. Land is still owned, fenced and monetised through ecotourism. An anarchist approach pushes further, linking rewilding to land commons and community stewardship, as will be discussed in later sections. Rewilding becomes a lifestyle choice for the wealthy, but a collective reclamation of ecological life. Case study, climate camps and direct action. Between 2006 and 2010, the UK climate camps brought together thousands to occupy land near airports, coal-fired power stations and financial centres. These were not only protest sites, but experiments in eco-anarchist living. Decisions by consensus, communal kitchens, renewable energy systems, free workshops and childcare. Their legacy has fed into movements like Extinction Rebellion and Just Stop Oil, though there are varying degrees of fidelity to anarchist principles. As will be noted later, repression has been fierce, from police raids to draconian legislation like the Police Crime and Sentencing Courts Act 2020, yet the camps remain proof that ecological struggle can configure alternative forms of life. Beyond protest, living differently. Eco-anarchism insists that fighting climate collapse cannot rest only on blocking roads or chaining ourselves to pipelines. It must also mean building the infrastructures of survival: permaculture farms, seed banks, water cooperatives, repair cafes and community energy schemes. These practices echo the countercultural glimpses to be explored later, and the low-tech radicalism, which will also be explored later. Struggle is therefore twofold: resisting the engines of ecological destruction while simultaneously cultivating the forms of life that make capitalist extraction obsolete. In this vision, climate crisis is not only an emergency but also an opening. The collapse of trust in governments and corporations creates space for radically different solutions. Eco-anarchism offers not a single blueprint but a sense of principles: mutual aid, federation, decentralisation, ecological stewardship, through which communities can meet needs without reproducing the growth machine. The choice is stark. Either states continue to defend profit until collapse overtakes them, or people reclaim the capacity to live with the earth rather than against it.